What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a new video on my channel. Today I am going to be breaking down all the trades that I have taken so far this week. We are currently on a 7 trades winning streak on the Cygnus group. It has been amazing for the past couple of weeks, and this week we have taken 2 trades so far, so I'm going to break them down for you. If you want to take these same setups every single day with me, make sure that you guys join the Discord in the description. It will be the first link. Alright, so with that being said, let's get started with the video. Alright, Monday I didn't take any trades because Monday was just a consolidation day. If you can see here on gold, it was just consolidating. Same thing on Nasdaq, consolidation, and same thing on SPX. It was just a consolidation day on Monday, so I didn't take any trades. The only setup that I really looked at was this gold liquidity graph, which actually ended up winning, but I didn't take this setup. All right, so it went past below this low that we had in early New York session or pre-New York, and then it went past this low over here with 3 candles, so 3 wicks below that low. None of them closed below it, so that's a liquidity graph right there. Then it gave the break of the candle, and then your stop loss will have been below those wicks, and then you aim for your normal one-to-one, and it will have won. So this was the only setup that I really looked at on Monday, but still I didn't take it. It was counter trend. It was the beginning of the week, so we still have 4 more days to go on the week. So if I didn't take any setups on Monday, I would still be fine. I still have 4 more days, and I didn't want to force a counter trend or take a liquidity graph so early in the week. I love supply and demand, and it's what I was waiting for on Monday. But Monday was just a consolidation day. I was expecting maybe like the New York Stock Exchange open to have some momentum on Nasdaq and break out of this consolidation, but nothing happened. Nothing happened for the day, so I just left it alone and didn't take any trades and came back on Tuesday. Now on Tuesday, I took a trade on Nasdaq. All right, we took it here live on a call. All right, so this is what I was looking at. Nasdaq, we had news at 8:30, and Nasdaq came all the way back up with some bullish momentum. So London session was a little bit bearish over here. Pre-New York was bearish, and early New York was also bearish. All right, so then news came in at 8:30, and Nasdaq had a huge bullish engulfing candle to the upside, breaking above the 200, breaking above the 13 EMA, and breaking above the 50 SMA. And then when the New York Stock Exchange open came, which is at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we had this previous support that Nasdaq had formed. So right here, that support right there, Nasdaq came all the way back down on the 9:30 candle. It even wicked below the lowest point right there on that support. So it wicked below it. It also rejected the 200 EMA and ended up closing all the way over here. That was showing a great buying pressure coming out of this area right here. So I took a position over here. We was live on the Cygnus group. We took a position on the break of the candle. Actually, I was a little bit iffy that day to take that trade just because the stop loss was a little bit large. So while I was thinking about it, if I take it or not, the Nasdaq started rejecting, and my entry, when I said, okay, we're gonna take it, and I entered, and we all entered on the Cygnus group, it was like around here because it gave the break of the candle, then rejected, came down a little bit, and then I said, okay, let's take it. And I took it on the not on the minis, but on the not on the micros, but on the minis. All right, so that my risk was a little bit less because the stop loss was huge. All right, it was 60 points on Nasdaq, so I had to take it on the minis. All right, not on the micros. So this day, yeah, I took that position right there, and then we was aiming for a one-to-one. Nasdaq started pushing back up. This was a nice candle. So it was looking great, and then the next candle started coming back up. All right, and then rejected and came all the way back down. Now the thing that I was looking at, which I also mentioned on the Cygnus group on the live, is that Nasdaq was possibly creating a resistance, so we had to be careful with this. All right, so at this point when I saw this, I'm like, okay, there is no reason for us to have a liquidity grab, have so much buying pressure over here on these 2 candles, and then start rejecting, coming all the way back down and breaking the low of that huge bullish candle. So if we break that low, I'll probably cut my loss early and get out right there. All right, and then Nasdaq did this, started coming back down with a lot of volume, a lot of momentum. It came back down like super fast, and I ended up taking or closing the position right there like a break even. So it broke, and then I closed the position right there at break even, and I called it on the signals. We was live. I'm like, okay, I'm out. I'm out. I'm not taking any chances with this just because it looks like it might be forming a resistance level over here. And the liquidity graph, you gotta know that when you take liquidity, you want to have an explosive movement going in your direction. There is no reason for us to take liquidity and then go up a little bit and then start coming back down. And especially when you had this type of like candle with a huge rejection and this other type of candle right here with a huge body. All right, why are you then breaking candle lows? So when I saw that, got out of break even, and I stayed watching the shorts to see if we made a good decision, and in fact we did make a good decision because it went straight to stop loss after that. So we took this trade on Nasdaq on Tuesday, was a break even, that's fine. We still have Thursday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then today I came into the shorts and we took a gold position. Now today we had CPI news at 8:30 a.m., which Nasdaq today the day was over after CPI. There's nothing going on, and same thing on SPX. The day was just over. We went up and then stayed up there for the rest of the day, so nothing really happened on Nasdaq or SPX. Now, when we're talking about gold, this was the only one that really stayed around in the same area and had a demand that we was able to take and capitalize off of it. So this was the demand that we took on gold. Let me put the replay mode all the way back down here, back to here, because I want you guys to understand what I'm taking. So London session was just a consolidation to the upside for gold, but it was bullish. Then pre-New York was a little bit of downside, but we're still bullish. We're still sitting above the 200. The EMA is right here at the point that we're sitting right now after news. We was trading above the 13 EMA and above the 50 SMA, and we also had a break of structure. So we broke these highs over here on gold with this week. That is a break of structure, and then we left a high probability demand, which then we came back down and tapped. For those of you that keep asking in the comments, this doesn't look like high probability. It is high probability. If you look at it, like let's say this is live price action, this candle just closed and it left this demand, there is a gap. There is a gap on the market from the current price action to over here to this area, to like this candle, this green candle. And even if you put it only to the demand candle, which is the red candle, you still have a gap right there. All this is a gap that we need to fill. It was filled on the next candle. Yeah, it was filled on the next candle. Sometimes the next candle just goes up, and then after 3 or 4 candles when it wants to come back down and fill up that gap. But this doesn't mean that this is low probability. It still has a gap on it. At the live price action, you still have a gap on it. So let me be clear on that for those of you that keep saying this is low probability. It is not low probability. It still has a gap. It just was filled on the next candle. We cannot do anything about it. Sometimes it gets filled after a few candles. Sometimes these things happen where you just fill the gap in the next candle. So it tapped the zone. I also saw that we had a 1 minute demand right there, that we rejected from, and we was looking good above the EMAs also on the 1 minute. So when I saw that, that rejection was great. Next candle came back down to the zone, rejected once again. No candles is closing inside. So we was waiting for the break of the candle to take this trade. Stop loss goes below the lowest point inside the zone, which is the first candle that came in, that first week of the rejection. And then yeah, the rest was history. We just took this trade, got in, and then gold hit TP like 2 candles after we entered. So it was great, good trade. Some people took profits after this week over here. I said that it was looking good to hold a little bit until above this week. It did went above it, but I just took my 1-to-1 and finished the day right there. So yeah, break even on Tuesday, and then today great win on gold, and that was literally it because gold after that literally used reverse for the rest of the day. So we made a good decision right here today by trading and taking 1-to-1. For those of you that always want to be aiming for a 1-to-3, 1-to-4, and keep telling me in the comments, why don't you use trade 1-to-3, 1-to-4? Because stuff like this will happen. It didn't even hit a 1-to-2. This is a reason why I'm taking a one-to-one. One-to-one is always the first target. Sometimes you're gonna leave runners when you need to cover losses that you took previous days, or if the trade is looking good, you leave runners. But one-to-one is always first target. You need to close. If you're not going to close a full position, you close at least a little bit, because it is not guaranteed that every trade will go from 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. If you're always aiming for 1 to 2, 1 to 3, stuff like this will happen where it will hit the 1 to 1, but it will never hit the 1 to 2 or the 1 to 3, and it will just reverse and hit your stop loss. So no reason for you to be taking a hit when it literally went above your TP1. All right, so make sure that you guys understand that as well. And yeah, this is how my week is looking so far. 1-0 for the week with one break even trade. We have to finish strong on Thursday and Friday, so let's see what the week brings us in the next 2 days, and then I'm going to do another breakdown this weekend. So with that being said, make sure that if you want to trade with me, you join that Discord link in the description, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.